Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a tier list of every book I read in high school up until now that I can remember. So, the way I did this is in order to try to curb bias, I kind of just put the books in a random order. And, yeah. So, the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to go from order from the bottom. I didn't put it in order which I read, which I originally wanted to do, but I feel like that would really curb the recency bias. So, anyway, let's get started. Into the Wild. This book was so bad. I'm so sorry. I honestly just hated when the author talked about himself, and I really disliked the actions of Chris McCandless throughout this story. But I will say, because I hated both of them so much, it made me feel something. So it can't be F tier. Now, Frankenstein. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put this right now. Because the story, I thought the writing was, fantastic. But I thought, that the plot, it was very interesting, but it's not something that spoke to me personally. It's not something that I cared about a lot. So I'll put it B tier just because the writing was really good. And Mary Shelley, she's a girl boss. Okay, the Anthropocene Reviewed. I'd probably put that. I kind of want to shelf this one. I'm breaking my rules already. Okay, this book, Purple Hibiscus, I thought it was pretty good. So the only thing with this one, I would say, is that Cambili is not really a character. She's kind of just a medium for storytelling. She's not really very compelling in the story, but every other character is. So I put it A tier. Okay. The Vanishing Half. Almost every single person in this story is problematic, but it's still a good story, and it's pretty, unintentionally funny at times. And I liked the book, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't anything special. B tier for me. Outliers, this story or memoir or whatever you want to call it, it's definitely not either of those. This anecdote was so boring. There was 4 parts which I found really interesting, but when there's 9 or 10 parts in the book, you kind of have to step it up. But I will say it's not F tier because I didn't hate it. I just thought it was so boring. This book I just read, I literally just finished it this morning, and I read it over 3 or 4 days. I thought it was very good. It was very intentionally and unintentionally funny, and I really liked how much these people really felt like. Their vocabulary wasn't overly fancy. It really felt like you were actually reading the life story of a person as they experienced it. I'm hesitant to put anything in S tier right now, and I'm going to revise this later, and I might actually bring this one down to B tier. Okay. Next up, The Great Gatsby. Now, Nick is gay. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. No, but so this book, I don't know. It was fine. I'll give it that. The characters I actually didn't find to be that interesting. Gatsby was alright. Almost everybody else was intolerable or boring at best. So, C tier. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Solid A tier right there. Because it was so good, and it really felt like they were narrating the high school experience, and Charlie is such an interesting character, and every person again in this one felt like a person. Okay, The Color Purple. This one also really good. A tier, I would say. So the story in this is great. These people don't feel as much like people really experiencing things as they are in the moment, probably just because, well, the book is very not graphic, but definitely not graphic, well, a little bit graphic, but very explicit, and I think that really kind of added to the story. I thought her storytelling was really amazing. And I wrote an entire paper about why this book was really great. Okay, Frankly in Love, gotta put it in C tier, because here's the thing, he didn't do anything wrong. It's a good story, I enjoyed it, but it's a romance, which is not my thing. It's the only romance on this list, I'm pretty sure, so yeah. Okay, Antigone, the title's cut off. I'm putting it C tier. I had no idea what was going on in the entire story. I didn't even hate it. I just didn't understand what was happening. Romeo and Juliet, I really didn't. I'm thinking back on it. It was okay. We'll put it C tier. I didn't like it though. The Scarlet Letter, interesting to read, interesting to study. Didn't like it though. I'll put it D tier. Okay. Streetcar. Whoops. Okay, didn't mean to put that there. But Streetcar, an objectively interesting story. I hated every person in this story, but I think because I hated them so much, it just means it was a good story, right? Okay, Fault in Our Stars, one of the first books in this list. Well, the first book in this list that really made me like feel something. Like, it was no spoilers, but it was very sad. The Book Thief, I read this in the beginning of the summer. I cried for like an hour after I finished it. So it's there for now. And I just think the storytelling overall was really good. Okay. The Anthropocene Reviewed. I keep accidentally putting them in the wrong spot. B tier. Because it was good, but kind of difficult to read, but a lot better to consume in audio form. Secret Life of Bees, I put this A tier. It's a good one. That's all I can say. It was a very good story, and I really loved August and May and all of her sisters, and this is one I read in freshman year, but I just liked the complexity of T. Ray and of Lily and whoever her love interest was. I forget his name, so sorry. Turtles All the Way Down, again, made me feel something, but I think it may be not the better of those two John Green books. And then The Anthropocene Reviewed is a memoir, so it's kind of in a different category. Okay. This one. Between Shades of Grey, again, it made me feel something, and I thought the storytelling was great. I thought what was so chilling about it was that Jonas, the 5-year-old in the story, he knew too much, and it was very sad, and it was great. Okay, so Born a Crime. I think I'll put it in A tier, because the way Trevor Noah told the stories was very good, and it really felt like he was a person rather than just a TV show host, and the last line, the dedication, I think it says something like, it's just a dedication to his mom. I forget exactly what it said, but it was pretty. Okay, this one I think is Othello. Can't see the title. It just says something if your favorite character was the Spanish racist, so, that wasn't great. Hamlet, a little bit better. Okay, and then this one, I can't fucking read the title. Ethan Frome, literally the worst book on this list. It was so bad, in so many ways. In so many ways, that's all I can say. It was so bad. So bad. It does the double suicide thing that Hamlet and all these other stories that are Shakespearean do. And I don't even feel bad for spoiling this, because it's just a horrible story. You shouldn't waste your time reading it. Okay, this book, it was a perfectly good, inoffensive book. It's a B tier. I didn't super enjoy it. I enjoy it enough to keep reading, but I wouldn't say it was fantastic. Salt of the Sea, a very good book. Not S tier, though. Very good book. And, I would recommend the read. Okay, now, if I want to revise this list, I want to make sure everything is properly where they should be. And honestly, I think so. Like, Gatsby could go up, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much to me. I will bring Into the Wild down, because I really did hate this story so much. Okay. But yeah.